The Prime Minister calls on the region to incorporate new initiatives and components to its tourism product.
Prime Minister Christie said the region has to incorporate these new initiatives if it wants to improve the #1 product offering. Prime Minister Christie was addressing the Caribbean Tourism Organization's Travel and Leisure Luncheon in New York City at the Caribbean Weekend. The Bahamas tourism product is taking center stage there as discussions between regional partners take place and as joint stakeholders strategize new ways to attract more business to the region. Our Clint Watson has the story.
The Bahamas and our #1 industry featured prominently in New York this week as a premier event on the calendar of the Caribbean Tourism Organization, Caribbean Week, unfolds. The week-long conference, exhibit, and strategic planning meetings have brought together regional leaders, executives, and other stakeholders in tourism, inclusive of the private and public sector partners. Prime Minister the Right Honorable Christie telling movers and shakers in the region that in order to penetrate existing markets and attract far-flung ones, there is a need for greater private-public partnership. He cited the Bahamas as an example for the region with our joint partnership between the Ministry of Tourism and various promotional boards.
While this model has served us well over time, with present realities and the ever-changing dynamics of the tourism industry, it needs to be overhauled to embrace greater opportunities and yield better results both for business and for the public good.
Mr. Christie announced that the Bahamas has engaged a study by an independent firm in consultation with public and private sector stakeholders to help the industry capitalize on best practices and new methods.
To recommend the pooling of financial and human resources in a much more effective and efficient and collaborative process under an amalgamated entity which would take over these functions. This new entity would be governed by a board of directors nominated by the government and the private sector.
In terms of moving forward in the region, the Prime Minister noted that greater innovation and change in the way business is conducted must be the order of the day.
The task at hand to grow Caribbean tourism at a faster rate, to expand our economies to meet the rising expectations of growing populations in a highly competitive and challenging global environment, calls for innovation and change in a way that we do business and in the quality, variety, and delivery of our product offerings. Instead of relying only on our natural features of sun, sea, and sand as the compelling reasons to visit our shores, we need to add business in its various forms and culture to the mix to inspire travel.
The conference wraps up this weekend. Clint Watson, ZNS Network News.